We dig through stacks of material to bring you the core insights. And today, well, we've got a really fascinating journey for you. We're talking about Gerbz Herbz, a name that, maybe surprisingly to some, has become absolutely huge in revolutionizing artistry in the cannabis packaging world.
Yeah, so our mission today is to unpack how this one artist went from, like, literally street graffiti
Right, on gates and walls.
to completely changing the game for product packaging, turning it into collectible art, highly sought after stuff.
And it's not just about the art, is it? The sources really point to some sharp business thinking, too.
Exactly. It's craft, it's business, and this deep commitment to quality. That's what we're diving into, how he actually pulled it off. Okay, so to really get it, we got to go back, way back. Gerbz Herbz didn't start in L.A., actually, Arizona originally. But L.A. is where that signature style really, took root. Think about his early canvases. We're talking roll-down gates from South Central to Mid-City. That's straight from the source material.
Wow, so really embedded in the city's landscape. Totally. And his style. Classic graffiti foundations. Think fat caps for those bold lines, super vibrant neon fills, and those unmistakable drippy tags.
That real authentic street feel.
Yeah, and before the packaging, he was all about black books, sketching constantly, doing big murals, even freeway burners, those huge pieces you see driving by.
And that background, that raw street art practice, it wasn't just like a hobby before the real work started. It was the work.
How so?
Well, that's where he forged his visual language, right? That graph DNA we'll talk about later. It gave him this unique aesthetic that nobody else in the eventual cannabis space really had. It came from an authentic place.
Okay, that makes sense. It wasn't just learned, it was lived.
Exactly.
So then comes this pivotal shift. The sources mention this period, roughly 2015 to 2018, he calls smoke before strokes.
Huh, I like that.
Right? And apparently it was literal. He was keeping a blunt in one hand and a sketch marker in the other.
So blending the two passions directly?
Yeah, and even then, he wasn't just doodling. He was already plotting how to set the standard. That's the key phrase, how to turn premium cannabis, or loud flower as they call it, into actual collectible art.
That foresight is pretty remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Most people launching a product back then, especially in that market, were focused only on the product itself.
Right. The packaging was just a bag.
Functional.
Functional, exactly.
Yeah.
But he saw the packaging as a canvas, as part of the experience, part of the value. That was a real aha moment, kind of a game changer in thinking.
Elevating the whole thing.
Totally. Designing an experience, not just a label.
So that vision starts to solidify. And gets a name. Gerbz Herbz. Apparently it came about after a late-night garage sesh. Typical creative origin story.
Love it.
And then 2019, this is the big moment. His debut strain hits the market, Gerbacio.
Okay.
But the real kicker was the packaging. It came with the first ever hand-painted Mylar bag.
Hand-painted, not just designed, but individually painted. Seems like it, or at least giving that impression of unique artistry. And the design perfectly matched the strain's vibe. The creamy gelato palette of Gerbacio. So rich, dessert-like colors. Imagine getting that.
Wow. Okay, so connecting that to the market, that's instantly setting a completely different bar, right?
Definitely.
It's saying this isn't just something you consume and throw away. The container itself has artistic merit, collectible value. It basically created a new tier for how products could be presented.
Turned a disposable into a keepsake.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Paved the way for a whole collector culture around the packaging itself.
Now, building something like this, you rarely do it solo. And Gerbz Herbz definitely leveraged his network. Collaborations were huge.
Right.
The sources mention this owl connection seems like a key motif through Chicago's TDM crew. That included Don Merfos, a big name. That opened doors.
Okay, so expanding his network geographically, too.
Yeah, and then A1 Exoticz helped, as the source puts it, expand the motion, basically getting his stuff out there more widely. And a group called Drawings from the Crypt helped bring his actual designs to life, maybe handling the production side of the art.
See, these aren't just casual hookups. These sound like really strategic alliances.
Strategic how?
Well, would they create this synergistic effect? It's why every drop hit like a curated art show. These partnerships amplified his reach, made sure the right people saw his vision. It's a kind of a masterclass in using your network to turn an artistic vision into a real industry force.
Okay, so the art's blowing up, the collabs are working, but then there's this other side to his reputation, his status as the QC god.
Right, the quality control god.
It sounds playful, but the sources suggest it's dead serious. This guy has, like, an unparalleled palate, seriously discerning taste.
And the experience to back it up.
Totally. He's smoked legendary batches. Stuff like the first RS-11 from Doja X Wizard Trees or Cannatic's debut Runtz drop. Even mentions Biscotti backdoored from Sherb Money. Like,
Yeah.
super exclusive, hard to get stuff.
So he's tasted the absolute best, the benchmark.
Exactly. And that deep experience gives him serious credibility.
And the stakes are high, right?
Mm-hmm.
His core principle, quoted directly, if it doesn't slap, it doesn't leave.
Meaning if the product quality isn't top tier, it doesn't get his art, doesn't get released under his umbrella.
Precisely. It's not just about looking good. The product inside has to meet his standard. That rigor is what established him as this industry authority, a real gatekeeper.
And the proof. Brands now apparently bring their rollout palettes, their potential new product lines, straight to his studio for approval.
Wow. His sign-off is basically the gold standard. That's influence.
So this whole journey, the sources frame it as alleys to algorithms, which speaks to the blend of street cred and modern hype building.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
He used some really smart tactics. Limited runs to create scarcity. Exclusive drops at pop-ups.
Mm-hmm. Classic hype mechanics.
And collaborating with, the sources call them LA leakers and scumbags.
Okay, so the underground scene. The influencers who create that initial buzz.
Right. Tapping into that network to build authentic hype. And then this crazy thing happened. Collectors started saving the empty bags. Like, people save sneaker tags or boxes.
Which is fascinating, isn't it? It's proof that the art transcended the product. It had lasting value on its own.
Proof that good art outlasts the smoke, as one source nicely puts it.
Yeah. And this connects to modern marketing, right? Scarcity, exclusivity, building a collector culture around something seemingly disposable. He nailed that.
And he was hands-on with promotion, too. Ran the street team for Doja, another big brand apparently bombing their logos across every major city, getting that nationwide recognition, real viral motion before everything was just online.
So combining that street-level hustle with savvy, almost luxury brand-style limited drops, that's a potent mix.
Let's talk more about that style itself, that graph DNA. What makes it so distinct?
Well, the sources point to a few key visual elements.
Like the fat bevels, those thick 3D-looking edges on the lettering.
Right, gives it that sculpted feel. And soapy fades, these really smooth, almost iridescent color transitions.
Yeah, and the colors themselves, candy shop palettes, super vibrant, playful, they just pop.
Definitely. And then those recurring motifs that become signatures.
Like the peach pits, the stylized owl eyes we mentioned, and those paleta drips like melting Mexican popsicles. Really specific, memorable stuff.
And those elements, used consistently, that's what makes his designs instantly recognizable. Doesn't matter if you see it on dispensary walls or trap tables alike, as the source says.
Meaning legit shops or underground spots.
Exactly. It's Gerbz Herbz. In a super crowded market, having that strong, unique visual identity is absolutely crucial. It makes the brand desirable.
It's not just packaging, it's a statement piece.
Totally.
And that leads us to where things were heading by around 2024. It wasn't just about the art on the bags anymore.
Right, it became bigger.
Gerbz Herbz became more than art. It was a movement. The brand expanded. Think tees, shorts, stickers, merch.
Which is a natural evolution, isn't it? It solidifies the brand as a lifestyle. People aren't just buying the product. They're buying into the whole aesthetic, the movement.
Lets them wear the art, literally.
Yeah, it takes the vision beyond the original context and embeds it into culture more broadly, from niche artist to a recognized cultural force.
So, wrapping this all up,
Yeah.
What's the big picture here? Gerbz Herbz essentially took graffiti, an art form often seen as vandalism or, purely subcultural,
Right, often marginalized.
and flipped it, turned it into this global aesthetic, highly valued within a specific booming industry. And throughout it all, from tagging walls to approving multi-million-dollar product lines, that core principle held.
If it don't pass QC, it don't fly.
The curator, QC God. It's an amazing story. Really shows you, doesn't it? The power of having a unique vision, sticking to it, and demanding quality. He completely transformed a niche into something recognized everywhere in that world. It's pretty incredible.
It really is. And maybe here's something for you, the listener, to think about. How can embracing a specific subculture, something maybe overlooked or niche, and then applying these really rigorous standards of quality, how can that create movements in totally unexpected places?
Right.
Even fields that seem completely unrelated to where it all started.